Hey everyone, and welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the TD FlexPay Credit Card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $9,000 in free stocks, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link, is just open up a free account and then deposit at least 1 penny. At that point, Webull will be sending you at least 3 free stocks worth, once again, all the way up to $9,000. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the TD FlexPay credit card. First off, we're going to be talking about how much cash back you can earn with this card. And unfortunately, with this card, they don't offer any miles or cash back. With other credit cards out there, you might have heard of them giving you like 1 to 2% cash back on all transactions. So you might spend $100, and in return, that credit card company will give you $1 to $2 in cash back or miles or whatever they use. With this credit card, you cannot earn any cash back. And then as far as a spend bonus goes, like other credit cards out there in the market, they might offer like $200 as long as you're able to spend, let's say, like $1,000 within the first 3 months of having the card. With this one, unfortunately, just like the cash back, you're not going to be able to earn a spend bonus either. So at this point, you're probably wondering what exactly is this credit card for, and mainly it is for balance transfers. So with this card, you're going to have a 0% introductory APR for the first 18 months on all balance transfers. And if you're not sure what a balance transfer is and who it would be served for, basically if you have another credit card right now that might have a larger balance and a high APR where you're paying a lot of interest, perhaps hundreds of dollars every single month with it, with a balance transfer, what you could do is you could transfer the balance from that credit card. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, it's a Capital One credit card with a balance of like $8,000 and you're paying hundreds of dollars on that balance in interest every single month. You could transfer the balance from that Capital One credit card over to this TD FlexPay credit card. And once again, for the first 18 months, you will have a 0% APR, which means that you won't have to pay any interest on that balance. Now, after the 18 months are up, your APR is then going to shoot up, which we are going to go over in just a moment. So I would definitely, if you take advantage of this offer, I would definitely try to pay that down as quickly as possible, or at least, or at most within the first 18 months. That way, whenever you have to start paying interest, you're not right back at square one where you're paying hundreds of dollars of interest every single year. Now with this card, in addition to the 0% introductory APR on the balance transfers, you're also going to be receiving some other benefits as well. But these ones are actually going to be from Visa just by having this card. So those benefits include emergency card replacement, roadside dispatch, lost or stolen reporting, cell phone protection. So you're going to be receiving reimbursement for your stolen or damaged cell phone as long as you pay for it with your TD Bank FlexPay credit card. You're also going to be receiving ID Navigator powered by Norton LifeLock, which is going to protect you against identity theft. You're also going to be receiving 7-day Visa exclusive pre-sale opportunities to select Sofa Sound shows, plus a free ticket per show with purchase of 1 or more tickets during the pre-sale period. And then you're also going to be receiving same-day delivery from a variety of stores you love with Shipped, which is going to give you 3 months free of Shipped. And then the next 9 months are going to be at 50% off. So if you want to cancel the trial that you're going to be receiving for free for the first 3 months, you'll have to do so. Otherwise, you will get charged at 50% of the rate starting in month number 4. Now, in addition to that, you're also going to be receiving late fee forgiveness. So every single year, you're going to be forgiven the first time that you happen to pay late. Now, in a perfect world, you wouldn't pay late at all. So whatever you have to do, mark it on your calendar, or perhaps even set up auto pay. That way you're never going to be paying late. But with this credit card, they understand that mistakes do happen. So for the first late payment that you do make, unlike with other credit cards out there, you might be charged like a fee of $40 even on the first time. With this card, it is forgiven for the first time. However, if you do make that mistake, make sure to learn from it, because the second time that you do pay late, that one will not be forgiven. You could always try calling into TD Bank to see if they will forgive it. Even for the second time, there's a small chance they might forgive it. But again, I would definitely do whatever you have to do, whether it's setting it up on a calendar, setting up an alert on your phone, or best yet, even setting up autopay. So now that we went over the main features of the TD FlexPay credit card at this point in time, we are going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to either be 19.24, 21.24, 24.24, 27.24, or 29.24%, depending on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, like I mentioned just a moment ago, once again, for the first 18 billing cycles, you're going to have a 0% introductory APR, which again is going to give you 18 months to pay off that balance in full without having to pay a lot of interest, potentially saving you hundreds of dollars in interest payments. But once again, you'll definitely want to make sure to pay it off within that 18-month time frame, because after those 18 months are up, at that point, your APR is going to jump up all the way up to either, once again, 19.24, 21.24, 24.24, 27.24, or 29.24%. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually you have a pretty high interest on them, plus you're going to be paying a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this credit card, just know that your interest rate on those is going to be a whopping 30.49%, plus a lot of fees as well, which we are going to dive into right now. So as far as those fees go, on the cash advances, the fees are either going to be $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as the balance transfers go, even though you're going to have the 0% introductory APR for the first 18 billing cycles, this of course is not going to be completely free of charge, because there is going to be a fee whenever you transfer the balance from your other credit card over to this one, and that fee is either going to be $5 or 3% of the amount of each balance transfer, whichever happens to be greater. And then after the period is up, where you're going to have the 0% introductory APR, for whatever reason you decide to do a balance transfer at that point in time, even though you would no longer have the 0% intro APR, at that point, it's actually going to go higher. The fee is going to go even higher, and that fee is either going to be $5 or 5% of the amount of each balance transfer. Then as far as foreign transaction fees with this credit card go, unfortunately there is a foreign transaction fee. So if you do happen to travel abroad, this is a card you'll probably want to use sparingly, or perhaps even leave it home altogether, and perhaps bring another credit card with you that does not have a foreign transaction fee, like one by Capital One, because they usually do not have foreign transaction fees, or other travel credit cards out there, they also usually don't have foreign transaction fees either. But if you do use this card, just know there is going to be a 3% foreign transaction fee. Then as far as late payments go, like I mentioned just a moment ago, your first late payment is going to be forgiven, so that is definitely a plus. Then if you happen to pay late a second time, that fee is going to be up to $40. If you have a return payment, that fee is also going to be up to $40 as well. And thankfully with this card, you don't have to sit around and consider whether or not you should keep it from a year-to-year basis if you're bringing in enough benefits to make worth paying an annual fee, because with this card, there is no annual fee, so that is definitely a plus as well. So now that we went over the main features of this card, as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and cons of this credit card. So we're going to start out with the good things. The first good thing, of course, is the fact that there is no annual fee with this credit card. So again, you don't have to sit around and consider whether or not it's worth keeping on a year-to-year basis, because you're not paying for anything anyways. The second good thing about this credit card is the fact that you are going to have a 0% introductory APR on those balance transfers for the first 18 months. So if you currently have another credit card out there where you're paying a lot of interest on a month-to-month basis, you could definitely consider transferring the balance from that card over to this card. And again, for the first 18 months, you will not have to pay any interest. So that's definitely a plus as well. And then of course, all those other benefits that you are going to be receiving with this card through Visa, like cell phone protection. So now that we went over the good things about this credit card, at this point, we're going to go over the bad. And of course, the first bad thing about this credit card is the fact that you cannot earn any cash back or miles or any rewards like that with this card. And then secondly, you can also not earn a spend bonus as well. So really the only good thing about this card, other than of course the Visa benefits, is the fact that you can transfer the balance from a card that you currently have that has a super high balance, or any balance at all that you're paying too much interest on and you want to transfer that balance over to this one and not have to pay any interest for the first 18 months. But other than that, you're not going to be earning any rewards with this credit card, so that is certainly a pretty big drawback. So with all that said, just to sum things up here, this is a card I probably would not recommend. Even though it is decent all in all, you can look at other comparatives out there like the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. With the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card, like this one, for the first 15 months, not 18 months, but for the first 15 months, with that card, you're going to have a 0% introductory APR on balance transfers, and then you're also going to have a 0% introductory APR on purchases as well. So with that one, it actually beats this one. Plus, you're going to be earning 2% cash back across the board, and then you're also going to have the ability to earn a $200 spin bonus as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 3 months. So that card beats this card out of the water, and if you're going to compare the two, I would definitely probably recommend going with the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card over this one at least, but at the end of the day, it's certainly your decision. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.